You have already watched our video about evaluating information. In summary, when you encounter information, it's not enough to ask whether it is relevant to your search. You should also ask yourself, does the source have authority? That is to say, is the author competent to provide information on this subject? When would information on this topic go out of date? Having made this decision, is this particular information source up to date? What is the author's bias? How is that bias shaping the content of the information? Can you verify the author's claims? These principles apply to evaluating information in many different contexts, including talking to your friends and family members, reading about current events, or listening to your professors in class. They also apply to evaluating information on the internet. Our focus for this video is to give you tips about how to apply these principles of authority, currency, objectivity, and verifiability to information that you find on the internet. The great thing about the internet is that anyone can publish on it. The bad thing about the internet is that anyone can publish on it. So the author of a web page may be an accomplished scholar in the field, or a person with years of experience working in that field. Or it may be a person who is completely ignorant about the topic. That's why most of this video is devoted to evaluating authority, the first of our 4 principles of evaluating information. Evaluating authority on the internet is tricky. Some web pages may state who the author is. You can then do some web searching to look for information about the author. Does the author have expertise on the subject? For example, here's a video by Carol Gilligan about moral development in women. What authority does she have on the subject? A quick web search reveals that she has degrees, publications, and a work history that indicate enormous authority on this topic. Often you just don't know. Perhaps the web page provides no information about the author. Perhaps not even the author's real name. Other times, the page may have a corporate author. That is to say, an organization is claiming authorship. This could be a government agency, a private company, or a nonprofit organization. How much do you trust the expertise of that organization on the subject you are researching? If you do trust the expertise of that organization, then good. But are you confident that the organization gave the responsibility of writing the actual information to someone who knows what they are talking about? Are you confident that the published information was at least checked or edited by experts? There are no quick answers. You may have to do some searching around the internet for information about the author. For example, here's the Occupational Outlook Handbook, an online encyclopedia of careers. There are no people listed by name as the authors of individual articles, only the parent organization, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's a branch of the U.S. Department of Labor, a federal agency. Poking around the website provides some information about the people responsible for the Occupational Outlook Handbook as a whole. Among the leaders is Rebecca Rust, Assistant Commissioner for Occupational Statistics and Employment Projections. What expertise does she have? She's an economist who used to lead a Florida state agency for workforce innovation. So she has authority on this subject. Now, how do we assess currency? Some websites, such as the Occupational Outlook Handbook, will provide a date for the last update for a web page. Some web pages, such as social media posts, have built-in dates. But many web pages have no dates at all, or only provide a copyright date, which really doesn't tell you when a web page was published or last updated. As with authority, sometimes you just don't know the currency of a website. Objectivity gets complicated. Again, as we explained in the first video, no one is objective, including the author of this video. The internet is filled with people with opinions. Some websites are trying to sell you something. They may be completely honest, but they also have an agenda to sell you products. Other websites are selling ideas. They may be completely honest, but they have an agenda to convince you of a certain point of view. When evaluating objectivity, consider whether the website has a clear point of view or conflict of interest. Again, the websites and their authors may be completely honest, but they also see the world from a particular perspective. Know what that perspective is so that you can take it into account when deciding how much credibility to give to that web page's information. Verifiability works in a fashion similar to print media. Does an author cite their sources? Do they link to those sources or provide clear references to sources? If the author cites statistics, do they explain how they got those statistics? Again, the 4 principles of evaluating information apply to the online environment just as well as any other medium. Does the source have authority on this subject? Is this particular information source up to date? What is the author's bias? How is that bias shaping the content of the information? Can you verify the author's information claims? Try to answer these questions as best you can. Often you won't be able to answer them despite your best efforts. That too is important to know. The answers that you find or don't find will help you be a savvier consumer of information in life. Do you need help with your research or documentation? The librarians are here for you.